Hello, my name is Jordi Numada, and Amita Sharma reached out to me recently and gave me the opportunity to be part of your platform, Nourish and provide services for you. And we had a very nice chat, and we decided that this would probably be a really good fit for me. But I have professional teaching, healing, and counseling practice for 20 years. I started out just as a Reiki teacher, and Reiki is a Japanese healing touch modality, very, very popular. I'm sure many of you have heard of it. I started out teaching and practicing Reiki and giving astrology readings, and I still do that to this day. But I have also been trained in many other modalities, and I have my own modality called Angelic Light Healing. I work with two Hindu lineages with an emphasis on healing and awakening and enlightenment. And I've also trained in Karuna Reiki and Vortex Healing and a couple other things. But I'm still learning too. But I'm really excited about being of service to the members of this community. I've always had mostly women as my clients and students, and I thought about this, and I've trained over 500 people in Reiki. That maybe 50 of those people are men, but it's always been mostly women, and that's how it is with this kind of work. I think that most teachers are really that teach energy healing get mostly women, and this is a time on the planet when women are becoming very spiritually awakened and empowered, and that's a wonderful thing. And it turns out that that's kind of one of my gifts, is that I'm very good at helping women self-realize and work through their issues. So, and that's why Amita and I decided this is probably a really good fit for me. And a lot of my most advanced students are older women, and they tend to be more serious than the younger people that are just kind of dabbling in various things. But I have 12 apprentices that I've trained, 12 apprentice teachers, and I also I've always done a lot of charity work, and that's something that I got those values from my mother, who was a nurse practitioner and did a lot of charity work. But I'm based in New York City, and I am pretty well known for doing charity work for homeless people and drug addicts and people that just kind of fall through the cracks of society and do not have access to high quality energy healing work. Now, Reiki is a healing touch modality, but it's also practiced as a remote healing modality, and that's something that you learn just in your basic Reiki training, is how to send your Reiki to other places, that remotely, and it's actually pretty easy to do. But especially since the pandemic, most of my practice has become remote because it was the only way that I could keep working during the pandemic, which in New York City we had a pretty long-lasting lockdown. I mean, people were walking around in masks for like a year or two, and everything's back to normal here now. But that's when I began doing my classes on video conference, and of course there's great advantages to that. And now I have students from all over the country and different places in the world. And over the 20 years, I have always had clients that I work with remotely, either over the phone or on video conference, but different countries, whatever, Canada, United States, different parts of the United States. But I'm pretty well known in New York City. I've been living here for 45 years, practicing here for 20 years, and I have an international reputation too. But what it turns out that what I'm really good at is just meeting people where they're at. How are you doing? How can I help you? Where do you feel blocked in your life? Where do you feel like you're lacking fulfillment in your life? And I will help you get fulfillment in all aspects of your life. And I have a pretty good track record of doing that. And I actually like to get the people that are really struggling and really have some very serious issues. For instance, during the pandemic, people were having a lot of old trauma coming up, and I was able to provide healing for people with birth trauma and early and childhood sex trauma, which is actually pretty common, but and it tends to get buried and suppressed. But that can be something that really sabotages your life in terms of like having health and happiness and success. If you have trauma that you're carrying around in your body, and that's something that I have a gift for helping people release that. Now I use astrology and tarot cards for counseling people and for helping people to get really clear about what their main challenges in their lives are and what their gifts are. And often people have gifts that they don't even really know that they have, or it might be something that you're interested in and you admire other people that do it, but you think I could never do that. Well, you probably can do that. You know, it's like if you would really, the people that you admire the most, they're really reflecting back to you your own potential. So I've worked with some of the best teachers in the world, and I am super grateful to be able to do the work that I do. I've had great success with helping people get their income, much higher. I had just in the last year, I've had a woman that closed her first real estate deal. It was for $50 million, and she got a couple $100,000 in commission. I've had other people working in real estate that really an appraiser that was just barely squeaking by, and after working with me for about a year, she was making six figures. There's one of the men I work with pretty extensively, who's also trained on a high level in energy healing, was selling jets, was selling rides on private jets, and he was just barely getting by. And after working with me for about 2 or 3 months, he was making over $100,000 a year. So now, of course, it's not just about the money. It's about fulfillment and health and happiness in your life and having a degree of inner peace in your life. And so really a lot of what I'm teaching is not just having worldly success, but having spiritual success. And that's something that I really worked on really hard with myself. I mean, I've been through my own dark night of the soul with very serious issues. It almost killed me, and I was able to recover from that. And so I've lived out the wounded healer archetype, that's exactly what that is. You have a disease or an addiction or a traumatic wound, and you're able to heal that, and then through that experience you're able to help other people heal that, and of course with some professional training. But I'm really excited about working with the people on this platform. I'm very comfortable working with women, and I have a lot of my best students are middle-aged women that are going through exactly the same things that you are, with the menopause and the health issues and the aging issues. Something I've done a lot of research on, especially over the last 4 or 5 years, was just enhancing our health and slowing down the aging process, even reversing the aging process. And this is a very exciting time in holistic medicine because we're getting really much better at that, and there are all kinds of cool things like red light therapy and plant medicine and stuff that has always been around. I mean, red light therapy is nothing new. It's been around for decades, but now it's becoming very, very popular, and I use that. If you do a session with me in person, the deluxe session will include red light therapy and some astrology and tarot and PEMF, which is the post-electromagnetic frequency, which is really amazing. But so you can work with me in person in New York City, or you can work remotely from anywhere in the world. And let's get busy. I mean, I want to help you wonderful women to be the best that you can be and to thrive in your in middle age, and really, I've had a lot of women that when they're going through their Chiron return astrologically, that's age 50. I tell them, listen, the rest of your life can be the best years of your life. As long as you're healthy and as long as you're doing something you love to do and that you're good at, there's no reason why aging can be something that you just, there's this belief of like, oh, now I'm getting old, everything's going to have more health problems, and that's just a belief. That's just conditioning. It does not have to be that way. And I could give you many, many examples of women that are having the best years of their life, well over 50 into their 60s and 70s and beyond. My mother lived to be 103. My mother was a nurse practitioner, and she also did a lot of charity work, and she was also psychic, but she didn't really own her psychic abilities. But I do, I can say I'm an intuitive empath. I have psychic abilities, and I'm totally comfortable with that. But so that's in a nutshell, that's who I am, that's what I do, and I'm really excited about working with you. And let's get busy. Let's do some work together, and I can help you. I can help you with whatever you want help with.